Conéctate con nosotros. Música.
Yo también la amé.
Noticias.
Wall Street inició operaciones el martes con tendencia positiva.
E historias de éxito. MotiveRadio.com. We are your drop of daily motivation. MotiveRadio.com. Connect with us. Music. News.
Too many Americans are still looking for work.
And success stories.
Everybody, this is John Sacturas, live from MotiveRadio.com. We are right here with a couple of great successful people, good friends. We got together and we want to share with you their stories. They actually came from far, far away, from the other side of the planet. And if you are connecting right now live on MotiveRadio.com, on a frequent basis, we're going to be able to share success stories. So if you want to change your life, if you're looking for a better way to make a living, if you want to have fun and enjoy life to fullest, listen to people that have success stories. Was it easy? No. It takes effort, dedication, vision, and hard work. But at the end of the day, as long as you never give up on your dreams, success can become yours. So I'd like to start today with Mr. Steve Martin, directly from Calgary, Canada. Steve, tell us, how does it feel to be in a business, first time in network marketing? You've been now for about 8 years. And tell our audience, how does it feel? How was your first year, your thinking process, and how it is today? Go ahead.
Well, I can tell you that my wife and I got started in this industry June 22nd, 2008. And for me, initially, I didn't really look at it as a serious business model, John. I thought it was more of a hobby, something that maybe ladies did on the side. They spoke with their girlfriends, they shared some products, and it was really nice. But I never really looked at it as a serious way to make money and to create a lifestyle. So I didn't really take it seriously, to be quite honest with you.
When was the time that you started thinking that maybe, just maybe, it might be a good business?
Well, my wife was really the one that partnered with another lady, a friend of ours named Marianne Node, and it was those two that really took the business to the people. What I know now about the industry is that it is 100% has to do with people. And they had a product that everybody wanted, and it was something that they just simply shared with people, and they were searching for people who were interested in trying the products and trying the business. So what really was the pivotal point for me was when I started to see evidence. I started to actually see evidence that there was profitability involved with this business. People actually liked the product. They bought it, they consumed it, and they started to feel better when they used it. And there was money to be made. And I remember my wife Rhonda. She would often come home with envelopes full of money. And for me, when I can see that there's proof in the pudding, that was really the shift for me. I said, well, maybe this is something that I should pay a little bit more attention to and stop having such a closed mind to.
So would you think that belief is more important than understanding?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't understand the business, and to be quite honest with you, I'm still learning the business every day. But it's the belief in what we do. It's a belief in sharing with people. It's a belief in helping people to reach their goals that has really inspired me to do more every day. Every day I just simply get up, I thank God for the day, and I say to myself, you know what, today I'm going to get a little bit better.
That's what it is, yeah. Every day we should always think of making a better life all the time. Now, Steve, with us we have one of your friends and business partners who came from far, far away from Malaysia, a good friend as well of mine, Mr.Bryann Pillay. So, Mr. Bryann, first time in Houston?
Yes, sir. First time in Houston.
How does it feel to have been to NASA for a liftoff?
It's kind of ironic that you say the word liftoff. Like when we came here, we already were supercharged by the weekend's events in Vegas, and I feel that my business today is the day I'm starting. I'm actually starting today. With all due respect, this is going to be the liftoff for me.
You know, Stephen Bryann, in our business, actually when we have a major event, like we had in Las Vegas, the rule or the suggestion is never do anything else but go back home fast and start building. Now, in this case, we made an exception to the rule because you told us that your people deserve 1 day, just 1 day. Why did you pick up Houston for that 1 day
Because
after the event?
we wanted to go to NASA. You know, we have been coming to America like 5-6 times in the last 2 years. My team, not once we have gone out of the training centers and stuff to do anything. And I'm a big fan of space. Like I said, I also come from another planet, so I really wanted to go to NASA. And my team, a lot of them wanted to have a day off too. So we chose to come here, and it was worth every minute, because to see how difficult it was for the pioneers and how hard it was for them to go and into the moon, get to the moon. I realized how easy our business is, you know, compared to what they had to go through, you know. The kind of science behind it, the kind of difficulties they got through gives me so much of happiness, because what we got is just a cup away.
You told us now in the bus, coming back from NASA, that for some fine reason today is February 23rd.
Yes.
What this date means to you?
So this is the day my first diamond, Mr. Jagan, joined the business, and this is the month that he went diamond on the same date. So it was like he joined the business February 23rd on 2013, and on 2014, a man who has no background, his education level is grade 6. He's an aircon repairman, just like our Crown Ambassador, Jose Adon. And he modeled around him. And we were in America last year this time in an event, and we went back to complete and get the diamond ship done in this month. So it was really ironic that we all came back here, because he has just pledged to go blue diamond, and the liftoff is definitely coming.
Amazing. Steve, being from Canada, you went to Asia. You spent like 3 to 4 years now, part of your life. They call you the Canadian. How does it feel to work in another continent on the other side of the planet with people whose culture are different, food is different, but they do have something in common, like everybody else? Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. You know, John, when my wife and I made the decision to take massive action, the entire purpose of that decision was to get uncomfortable. We were in a market in Canada, United States, where we had comfort levels. You know, we were used to the people. They knew our language. We knew the food, the religion, and it challenged us, because sometimes in business, people get lazy. People get comfortable. We had some success. We had created some success in the industry, and we had created some income. So we made a decision. We said, you know what? We need to do whatever it takes to get uncomfortable. And we literally rolled the globe, and on the opposite side of the world, from where I live in Canada, literally, it's as far away from my house as I can get without coming back. If I go left or I go right, I'm coming back. And it was that decision and the company's great vision that said, eventually we're going to be opening up the countries in Asia. So I said to my wife, I said, you know, would you support me by allowing me to leave the family? I got 2 boys, young boys, 8 and 11, and they're very active, and I left her as a single mom. And I said, I'm going to come for 40 days. Well, that was in February, actually this month, 2012. So 4 years now, I've been coming back and forth to Asia, back to Canada, United States, and the first while it was 7 months. You know, the goal was 40 days, but 7 months later, after only returning twice, we have had an opportunity to positively affect tens of thousands of people's lives, and I can tell you at the beginning, John, I had no idea what to expect. I was scared, but I was more afraid of not doing something and not becoming significant, and I have a very great person that I work with, a coach of mine, Mr. Holton Buggs, and he said, observe the masses and do the opposite. So I saw a lot of people that were not willing to do something extra. And I thought, if I just did this, and I went over to Asia, and I boiled water, and I had conversations with anybody, that it was possible, that I could become an example, and I could learn from people, and I could grow partnerships, and I could grow friendships. And 4 years later, John, you know, it's impacted the lives of myself, my family, and for generations to come. My children have been to Asia. They've been involved in the business from day one because, you know, they're my partners. And I had to ask them. You know, I remember having a conversation with my young son. He's 8 now, and he was 4 then. I said, his name's Lincoln. I said, Lincoln, is it okay as business partners, me and you are business partners, is it okay if Dad leaves for a while? I won't be around for a little while. I won't be able to go to your things at school. I can't do your sports. I can't drive you, and I can't play with you after school. Is that okay for a little while, so that we can go around the world and we can help other people? Because some people in the world don't have a mom and dad. Some people in the world don't have food. They don't have a house. You know, is it okay if I go and we make a difference? And every day I call you, I tell you the stories about the people that we've helped together. And he said, yeah, and I did that, and that's what kept me going when I was over there, is the fact that I knew that I had made this partnership with my kids, and I can't let them down. And it really was, you know, a challenge. I didn't know the food, I didn't know the religion, I don't know the language. I still really don't, but I was open. I did not go there with any of my own beliefs. I didn't go there with anything I wanted somebody to believe it. I didn't go with anything, say, look, you have to do it my way. I went over there simply with an open heart and coffee, and we just shared it. And it's been a true blessing in my life. And you know, the thousands of people who have been affected positively, I know is just the beginning, John, because they're literally 2/3 of the world's population is in Asia, and they need help. The world is affected by what we do, the whole world. And I'm so grateful to people like yourself and the company that we work with, because they give us the opportunity to seamlessly work anywhere we want in the world. We just have to have the will, take massive action, partner with the right people, and make a difference. Because we can make profit anywhere. I've made millions of dollars in other industries, but I can tell you right now that I've never made a difference like I do in Organo, my business. And I'm so happy for that. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to one of my very good friends and business partners, Mr. Pillay, and the team that we have here today, and for doing this for us. So really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Mr. Bryann, yes, sir. You've been in business for many years prior to network marketing. So here you meet Mr. Steve Martin from Canada. A cup of coffee, network marketing, a good opportunity. What was the beginning? What were you thinking? You signed up, you went to work, you did something to get started. And through the process, what was your thinking process back at the beginning and how it is today? What was the biggest challenge that you had to face?
John, the biggest challenge was I did not believe in network marketing. I'm a big skeptic. And to be very honest, when the opportunity came to me, I just obliged. And it's a good friend. The person who's brought me into the business is the former chief of Malaysian Navy. He's an admiral, 4-star admiral, who served 4 prime ministers in Malaysia. A very highly profiled person. And I've known him for years. And this person's the person was the reason why I just obliged. You know, it was just like me giving the money and going away. That was the initial thought process. But he was very firm, and he said, listen, this is a real company. It's really reaching out to many people. let's do this. And I didn't want to do it. I just went over to Thailand 2 days after joining to actually go and find the fraud in this company. I went to Thailand to find Mr. Steve and say this guy is a fraud and find the darkness in the company. But when I went there, to be honest with you, I was in Bangkok for 2 days, Thailand. I didn't have time to even have a leg massage because they were so passionate about the thing. Every 20 minutes, 15 minutes, meeting people after people after people, and it was too much for me. At the end of just the day before I went back, I spoke to Steve. I went up to him and I asked him, why are you doing this? What's your reason? What's your real reason? And I always believe in looking people in the eye, and the eye never lie. And at that point, when he answered me that he wanted to have 10,000 families having some form of income, passive income, $10,000 to be specific, that's his goal in life. When he said that to me, it kind of believed his eyes. At the same time, it made sense. In life, we all have a purpose. Okay. So I said, maybe if this guy is real, my Tansri, the guy who sponsored me is real, why I can't play a small role? So when I came back home, I made a commitment to have 100 people making about $1,500 a month. That was the goal setting I had. Very
Can
small.
we say like a part-time income?
Part-time income from home, passive income, 100 families, $1,500. That was my goal setting. Why? Because, to be honest, I didn't believe. Now, I've now been in the business for 3 years, and my first 14 months, or first 1.5 years, I was a very unteachable person, and I did not listen to Mr. Steve Martin much. And I was very successful. When I say I was successful, the people who joined me in the first phase of the business, we all made money. But I didn't have a lot of people making money because I was not doing anything. The system that
So you were not following the system.
I didn't do nuts. Mind my language. I wasn't doing nuts because the bottom line was, I thought I knew because mind you, by 2008 I was worth $500 million. I've been in business. I own 2 listed companies. My third company that was going for listing was valued very highly by Frost Sullivan. So if you are worth $500 million on paper and you have made some kind of money, do you think you're going to listen to somebody who's doing network marketing?
No.
No. So that's
At least at the beginning.
at least at the beginning.
You have to see it, to believe it, research, get involved.
But I couldn't see the vision. I couldn't see where this company was going. This is the truth. But when I came to Rome, which you know of, the life-changing moment, that's where we met. You kind of got into my head, and Mr. Holton and Mr. Shane made me realize the leadership was good, but I didn't see the vision. I only kind of, in my head, formatted that the system will work if only we follow it. So I made a decision in Rome that I will listen to Mr. Steve. Now again, it was because of your intervention, because you made me realize the importance of a mentor. You made me realize that we need to work hand in glove. That's when it becomes strong. But you didn't tell me this. I remember you running with the umbrella behind Mr. Holton when it was raining. I saw that visual. Now, initially I thought it was a big act. Okay? To be honest, okay? In fact, I thought a lot of things was a big act in Rome. Okay? Because it's not real. This company, the people, the leadership is not real. The things that you all do for each other.
It was too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Like when you sat down, Mr. Luis Ventura came and gave you a glass of water. And the way you guys look up to your leadership, the way you all show edification and unity is out of this world. But it is good.
Respect.
But I've been in business for at least 25, 30 years. I've never seen anywhere where people go beyond their limits to show edification, loyalty, And with Mr. Steve, he's a successful businessman too. So we were like two bulls that we couldn't see eye to eye. Thanks to your teaching, because you showed us evidence how to do it, we became friends first. And 1.5 years down the road,
Yep.
you can't take me away from him.
That's what we say, to build a diamond ship, build a friendship.
Relationship is so
So
important.
important.
Because I now see him as a brother, and if anybody wants to go to him, have to go past me. That's something that I've learned, and I'll keep it and value it. Like how you told me, with Mr. Holton, your life is online. You said this to me.
Yeah.
And I can say the same thing about him because, you know what, once we start, we never go back, we go forward, right? And in whatever comes, our communication would be so good enough that will follow the leadership style, which Mr. Shane Moran, Mr. Bernardo Chua, and Mr. Holton have. They have that same kind of bond that I think we have started to build. You know, we are personally, we are so lucky to have your time. And I made this commitment with Steve, with you in 50,000 feet, or 30,000 feet in the air. 37,000 feet in the air, where we took this pledge to stay together and build as a family.
Yes.
I'm really thankful that Steve and me are with you here, because for me, this trip, we planned this much earlier, right? But when I've come here, it all makes sense. The universe makes sense. The liftoff is coming. Watch out, OG.
So can we say now that Steve mentioned about belief, more important than understanding. We talked about vision, that is important. Vision is very, very important. We talked about that. To be teachable is important.
Very.
And for everybody who's listening and watching this live right now, network marketing is people's business. And the biggest issue most people have at the beginning is to be able to believe and to see something that is not available right now, is to be built in the future. Sometimes we're going to work very hard. We may not make enough money as an exchange of the hours of work, but this is the big L shape that I've learned back in 1988. At the beginning, it's too much work for a little bit of money. But then you duplicate, you multiply. Time will come, you're going to make more money for less effort. We call it the residual income. This is where you duplicate yourself through others. You said it very well. You had a hard time believing and understanding Steve at the beginning. Two business people that know business principles. But in business we have employees. And you will not going to motivate the employee to duplicate because that's their job to do whatever they have to do for exchange salary for work. But in network marketing, if we don't have belief, if we don't work as a unity, if we don't help each other, success is going to be harder. That's why we say we want people who are teachable, willing to learn, willing to serve. Edification is very important. It's called respect each other, different levels, different level of respect, but being united as one team, as one family, that's the biggest element of major success.
So earlier when you said, when we met in Rome, that was the shift point, right? From there on, in the last 15 to 18 months, we have produced 7 diamonds. And I know it was not my work, it was the system and following instructions. So basically, being teachable, a lot of people are not, but if you can just follow it, the ability to follow instruction. If someone says who has the success, like Steve has got what I want, you have got what I want, so I just have to listen. And if you are on this call, listening to this call, the instructions given by your mentor, if they are successful, if you take it as gospel truth, the success is yours. And it's going to be a group of people growing at a faster rate rather than you just growing by yourself with your own ideas.
Steve, before we close, I have a question for you. Now that you know what you know, what you have done, you would have done differently from the beginning?
Knowing what I know now, simple question, simple answer, I would have believed bigger and I would have believed faster. I think that the environments that we all come from are really how we're produced. Sometimes we don't have a choice. We're born poor, we're born wealthy, we're born middle class, whatever that might be. And that's the mindset that we grow up with. You know, what makes you think you can make money? Don't you know that nobody in our family's ever made money? What makes you a big shot? You know, you think you're smarter than everybody else? You think you deserve it? You know, don't you know money is evil and all this kind of stuff that we grow up with, right? This thing's in our minds because, you know, for generations to come from the past, generations from the past, we've all been taught that, you know, you follow a system. You go to school, you get a good job, get a good education, maybe get a good job. You stay with that job for the rest of your life, and when they're, you know, no longer need you anymore, you get to the certain age, then you leave, and if it's a good company, they'll pay you 40% less than what you couldn't live on before. I mean, it's an entire formula of destruction. We are taught to to produce. In my mind, we're taught to produce, average. I've always believed that I've been born spectacular. I was just educated that way, average. But with network marketing, what I found is that if we can have conversations with people and we can slowly shift the way they think, transfer belief, transfer information so that people can see, like I needed to see. See, I had the thought of network marketing it wasn't real. It was just it was a club. It was just a club where ladies hung out and talked about their husbands and did their makeup or something.
Some call it a pyramid.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know what a pyramid. I didn't even know that.
Pyramids are in Egypt, by the way.
I saw that. Yeah, pretty strong. They've been there for a long time too, right?
Very steady.
But I can tell you right now that with my belief in this industry, I truly believe that this is an industry that anyone can shine in. They just have to find the right business. They have to find the right product and the right people. And if they believe in themselves and they believe that service to others produces greatness, then they can become anything they want. But we're not taught that in school. So my message will be, and always has been, what if it works? What if today, the conversation we're having, what if you tried it? What do you got to lose? You know what you're going to end up like because there's evidence around it all over the place. Your environment will show you what you'll end up. You told me a story one time when you were a young man. One of your coaches said, you know what, John, if you want to know what you're going to look like when you're 60, go look at some of the people that are working that have been in your industry, what you were doing then, that are 60, and ask them if they're happy. I mean, I think that was the best lesson you've ever taught me.
The best.
The best ever. I'm like, it makes so much sense to me. If you're doing something today and you're not so happy with it, go take a look at someone who's been doing it for 20 years longer than you and see if you're going to be happy then.
Yeah.
I know in today's economy, today's day and age, having a job is very important. And we have to support our families, and we have to do whatever it takes to get food on the table and to take care of our kids. But what if there was another way? What if there was an additional way that you could add income to your household? Maybe it's not full-time right away. In most cases in our industry, it's not full-time. It's something people do on weekends and at nights.
Yep, extra.
Instead of watching television, or maybe, the X Factor or, America's Got Talent, instead of celebrating other people's success on TV,
create yours.
why don't you just take a little bit of that time and go have a conversation with somebody about something? As human beings, what I'm so grateful for is that we have choice. We don't have, animals, a dog's a dog. A fish is a fish. They can't change. But human beings, we actually have a choice. We can choose to feel good every day, or we can choose not to. We can choose to go left. We can choose to go right. Yep. Go straight, go back. Nothing on earth has ever been created as great as we are. And sometimes we forget that. And we just do whatever we've always been told to do.
We have the power.
We have the power. So I'm so grateful that I'm able to meet people like yourself, people like Bryann, the thousands of people over the last 8 years that I've been able to celebrate with. It's the best part of my life. I'm so excited for the next 50 years of my life because this to me,
at least 50
years. The product we have, I'm probably gonna. What do you say? You're gonna live to be about 130, maybe.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, and I think you said something the other day that really impacted me. You said, in today's day and age, people are gonna live longer. If you look at the way they're gonna need money. Yeah. They're gonna need more money because things don't get less expensive.
That's correct.
So if we're gonna live longer, we need more money. We have a solution.
Absolutely.
Network marketing is a beautiful thing. If you can find the right company, the right people, the right platform, man, I'm excited for you.
Right system.
Great system. So, John, really appreciate this opportunity to sit down with you and share in your vision because what you're doing in the industry right now. It's not even the industry. What you're doing in life and in business. I truly believe that I've done enough in my life. I've helped enough people so that the universe connected us. Because the next 50 years of my life plus, no, more than that probably, at least 50, we're just getting started.
That's right.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to put a smile on the millions of people's lives that together we're going to do in the very near future. So thank you so much for everything you do.
My pleasure. Now, Mr. Bryann,
Yes, sir.
closing. Now that you know what you know right now, what are you planning, thinking, or visualizing to do from now on?
To be honest, from this weekend, my mind shift is so much. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go so crazy, and the reason I use this word is I've finally got to me. Like it took Steve Martin 44 months before he made a decision to go uncomfortable and come to Malaysia.
True.
And maybe when you started, you had enough experience in life. You knew what you have because you've seen enough. You knew when you got a good thing, you went for it. But everybody had a point in their time, in their business, that they made a decision. This is my decision. I will not rest. I will not rest till I do what I've promised to do for my team. And right now, the goal setting that I did about 3 months ago is to produce 50 millionaires in my organization. Okay, that's a big number.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. But it's possible because it's system-based. And knowing what I know now, if I can teach people to follow instructions, follow the system, and whatever the leadership in our company says, we should just follow. So I like to duplicate you, copy you. You're giving back right now. Right now, nobody does this. Nobody does this. The fact that you have this and this system, this whole thing, I can see how big our future is going to be. Because we can get more and more people to come and share. And every time there's more evidence out there sharing this golden opportunity, people are going to listen. Because people's ego blocked them from listening to us. And my ego stopped me for some time. Even when I knew you and I followed you, my ego didn't let me do everything. I did 60, 70%. I made a decision when Mr. Holton said, it's about you. When he said that on stage the other day, he was speaking to me. I'm going to go back, work hard, and work smart. I'm going to work hard, work smart, and I'm going to be result-based. Less talk, more ring earners. The more people come up on stage with ring, that's when we have done what we are supposed to do. It's not always the money, but in Organo, we need to show the money. We need to show people the money, and we need to show our teams it's so possible. And I really must thank you, because you're truly an angel for me, but I want to duplicate you. Whatever you are doing, if me and Steve can work together and be in any part, in any help, please, sir, give us this opportunity. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from Mr. Steve Martin and Mr. Bryann Pillay, a Canadian and from Malaysia. You've heard everything. We cannot guarantee, we cannot make any promises that you will become a millionaire or you're going to make X number of dollars. We don't know. The only thing we know is be part of the team, do the work, produce the results, you will get paid. That's a fact. But it's going to take a decision to do whatever it takes to improve yourself. Because the real product is not even the coffee. The real product is you. It's each one of us. The person is the real product. Is your attitude, your smile, is your behavior with other people, is your approach, is your communication level, is how many people can you contact on a daily basis, with how many people would you like to share with other people? How big is your belief? How big is your vision? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Take your time today and plan your future. We are planning our future. We are planning ways, systems, and methods, along with the company, to help you, to help send the message out there, send your picture out there, and let everybody know that OG works. And right now, after the Las Vegas event, ladies and gentlemen, this is the sign of money coming. Money coming for those who are working.
OG works.
Money coming.
OG works.
Not only to buy things, but to create a better life, more secure, happy, and enjoy. Because at the end of the day, as we're gonna die at some point, why not make a difference? Why not leave a legacy? So my word to you is never give up in anything you're looking for, because whatever you are looking for is looking for you. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks everyone to be online today. I know it was the last minute. Tomorrow, we're gonna have more success stories. So be ready. I'm having my cold Organo iced tea, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
OG Works.